Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. I'm continuing this personal project of mine to black out my C7 Corvette, and we're down to the marker lights on the side and also the exhaust tips. So today, let's work on those marker lights. We have them in stock. We have them ready to go. Let's get them installed. So as we pull them out of their protective sleeves, we can see they are also protected with a film on top of the face of the marker. They have snaps and they also have notches exactly like the OEM markers we will be replacing. The portion of the wiring that plugs in for the bulbs is exactly the same for the LEDs. We just snap it on. They are marked left and right, so you know which side they go on. The rears are a ½ inch longer than the front, so it's you won't be able to get them confused. They will not fit if you have them in the wrong slot. I am not being sponsored by any of these companies, so I'm going to put a link down below for every company that makes these. That way you can pick the best price for you if you want to take on a project. Most of these companies, if you have a Corvette or a Mustang or a Camaro, they have products to customize your own as well. So let's get started. Two T15s. The tools you need is a T15 and also a 9/32 socket and ratchet. These here are the T15s. There are 3 of them right inside the lining for the inner fender well. Turn the steering wheel away from the side you're working on. You'll have plenty of room and will not have to remove the wheel. You can either use a T15 drive like this, or you could use a tip for a T15 tip for a drill. Being this close and working this close to the edge of the inner fender well near a painted surface, and also the new painted wheel here, I'm just going to do it by hand. All right, with those 3 removed, just grab the edge of the bumper there and firmly pull away from the fender. There's going to be 3 snaps right there at the fender, and you'll be able to separate the inner fender well lining from the front of the bumper. And in there will be 3 clamps you need to squeeze, and the marker light will pop outwards towards you with the wire still attached. So be aware of that. You don't want to rip the wire or the fitting. It will pop out with hardly any effort at all. We have a silver tab to lift up away from the plug. That will free it, and you can slide it off rather easily. It's only a 2-prong plug, so just be careful that you don't bend the prong of the new marker light you want to install. Slide on the prong and just snap it right back in. I'm going to remove the protective film on top of the marker light, grab a microfiber so I can push and snap the bumper back into place without getting fingerprints or gently scuffing it. You touch your car, you're going to scuff it, especially if there's some grit on there, if you haven't washed it for a while. And then we can, just reverse the process, get everything back in there and button it up. And that's all there is to it. Much better as we come around. It is blacked out. It's not the horrible yellow color on the other side. I'll walk around and show you the difference between the two. And when it lights up, I'll show you that at the end. So the passenger side is exactly the same. I'm not going to show you that. So we'll just quickly jump to the back of the car. It's just slightly different, and I'll show you the difference there. We have a guard that protects the back end there from rock chips. So we need to remove that. And there is a 9/32 bolt underneath there to remove. Just quickly remove that. And the protective flap will snap off from there. From there, all we have is two T15s that are holding the inner fender well liner to the rear bumper. We need to remove those as well. If you don't have something to throw together to fit in between the rear tire and those T15s, you might have to remove the rear wheel, but I have something I threw together to squeeze in there. With those removed, you can firmly remove the inner fender well lining, push it away from the bumper, and it gives you just enough room to get your arm in there, squeeze those tabs so you can pop the marker light out away from the bumper. If you need to, sometimes you have to twist and turn to get in there, sometimes lay on the floor. However you get your hand in there to unsnap the marker light, that's how you want to do it. Carefully unplug the marker light and swap it out. That's really all there is to it back here as well, so let's button this back up and finish the job. Okay, so we're going from these stock marker lights with two bulbs to a more blacked out, sleek looking marker light with LEDs from top to bottom running the length of the light itself. And when they're off, you don't see the ugly red or the yellow color. They will pass inspection. And they're easy to apply. All right, with that finished, all we have to do is black out the exhaust tips. I will get some tinting done on the side and the rear glass. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate your support. Catch you in the next video.